Falling gracefully is a skill and an art. Luckily for me, I've had 17 years of practice. Today, I'd like to share a fun video and tell stories of my best and funniest falls. Because I have a disability, I fall down a lot, and it scares a lot of people, but some of these stories I think are really funny. Before we start, like, share, comment, subscribe, and become my patron on Patreon. This first one is my favorite story. I tell it so much, all of my friends probably know it by heart, but this is what I call the Great Fall of Panera Bread. So I was at Panera Bread with my mom and my brother, and I'm carrying everyone's food in one hand and my drink in the other. So my mom is trying to make sure that Nathan doesn't run off without us. And so she kind of holds the door for me, but she has her back to me and can't see me. So she lets go when she thinks that I'm out the door, and I am not. I was about halfway through and the door hits me in the shoulder and I fall down because those doors are kind of heavy at Panera Bread. So, and anyone who falls a lot knows that falling happens in like slow motion. So while I'm falling, I'm thinking, how do I need to prioritize what I'm doing with my hands? So I think, okay, I'll drop the food that's in a bag and it lands flat. Nothing is hurt. And then I've got this drink in my other hand and it's full because I've just filled it up before we left. So I grab it with both hands and my elbows hit the pavement at the same time, but the drink does not touch the ground and nothing spills from my cup, not a drop. And the best part of this was there was a stranger standing there who saw the whole thing and he said, "Wow, that lid must have been really tight." And in my head I was thinking, no, that was just me. I've saved this drink from going everywhere, and I'm still proud of that to this day. So all through my years of school, I have fallen a ton, and despite that, my teachers never get used to it. One time in middle school, I fell while I was going to class, caught myself in like a push-up position, and there was this teacher standing out in the hallway. She was not my teacher. I never had her class before or anything, and she starts freaking out. She's like, "Go to the nurse, go to the office right now, go, 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 go." And I'm fine, but you know, what am I gonna do? So I go to the office and I sat in there for 20 minutes, okay? And I can see my friends coming down the hallway and they just look at me like just wave them off. So I sat in the office, missed the entirety of homeroom just to go see the nurse. And then she was like, "Okay, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she was like, "Okay, you're fine, go back to class." So it was funny, and it's funny now, but that's at the same time, I was like, this is ridiculous. Another time in middle school, I was walking down the hall with my rolling backpack, and I'm coming to a corner, and these 4 guys who are older and bigger than me came sprinting around the corner, slammed into me. So the first 2, they're kind of 2 and then 2. The first 2 slam into me, and no joke, I flew several feet backward, and the handle of my rolling backpack like slammed into the ground, and they freaked out. It was kind of scary, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we're so sorry, are you okay?" I was like, oh my gosh, don't run in the hall. So anyone else, don't run in the hall, because that happened and it was terrifying. When I did virtual school, my mom and I would always go to the gym every morning because I would get my virtual school done in like 30 minutes, and I got up pretty early. So like 7 o'clock, 7:30, we'd go to the gym that we have in the town where I live. And the gym, the parking lot, there's like parking lots in the back, but the closed parking, there's a circle around a tree. And so we're walking in, you know, we're in the middle of the circle, and I kicked one of my arm crutches, if you've seen my other video, and I fall down. And it was so funny because I have just tripped myself, and so I'm laughing. My mom is like laughing so hard. We're both like she's not helping me because we can't move because we're laughing so hard. And this guy walks by and he is looking at my mom like horrified because I have just fallen on the ground and I look helpless and she's just standing there laughing at me. And what made it even funnier is we had a family friend who was coming to the gym and was driving around the circle and then leans out of his truck and is like yelling at us like, "Hey, you're blocking the road, get out of the way." And so then we're laughing even harder and I sat there for several minutes unable to get up because we were just dying laughing. I'll tell one more story. Freshman year of high school, I joined cross country. Impulse idea, but it was actually pretty fun. The coach was super chill about my disability and he trusted me that I could go a mile or whatever, and he was supportive and it was awesome. So one time we're stretching or resting or something, I don't remember, but we're outside and I needed someone to help me off the ground. One of my teammates offered help, and this was the instance that made me realize that when you pick me up, I need to put my feet on their feet. So he goes to pick me up, he grabs my hands, and he goes to pull. And instead of going up like this, I just go straight forward. And the sound of rubber-soled shoes scraping against concrete is the most horrid sound I have ever heard. So he pulls me pretty hard, and so I slide across the concrete super fast and my shoes go. It was awful, awful. I hated this noise. And I was actually talking to my friend who was there when that happened, and he remembered it and he just made a face like this. And the noise still makes me cringe. So not really a story, but people always tell me I fall gracefully. I don't know what that means, and I asked a friend to explain it to me, and he just said like, I don't know, you just like look like a ballerina when you're falling, like it's real controlled and like looks like it's on purpose. I don't know what that means, but I've had random strangers on the street tell me that. So when I was little, before I had my really big back surgery, I would fall all the time, but I would fall backwards, and it would scare people so bad because they would always think she's gonna hit her head. But I have learned, and I still kind of do this today, that there are sensitive areas of your body. So when I would fall backward, I would go and tuck my chin so that I wouldn't hit my head, and I still do that today. Most of the time I fall forward, and so while I'm falling, I turn onto my back and tuck my chin, just so that I don't hurt myself. And that's been really useful because there could have been times where I really hurt myself. These are just a few of the funny stories I have that are related to my disability. If you were wondering where your bi-weekly dose of Sarah Kate was on Sunday, I've decided to move my videos to Mondays because school gives me no time to film on the weekdays, and I wanted more time to edit and record the videos on the weekends. Please help my channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and of course, subscribing. And please, 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 I don't earn any money from this channel, so all of the editing software and equipment I buy for my videos is paid for with my money. To make sure I can keep making quality videos, give me opportunities to make merchandise, and keep my videos free to view, join my Patreon. Even if you just donate the lowest tier of donations, which is $3 a month, it would be a huge help. See you in 2 weeks. Bye!